All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to crack the code on the digital SAT math section. For so many students, this is the biggest source of stress on the whole test. But what if all that pressure wasn't really a barrier, but more like a puzzle you could solve? Well, stick around because we're about to show you exactly how to do that. You know that feeling, right? The clock is ticking away, the questions feel like they're designed to trick you, and it's just so easy to get overwhelmed. Staring at a problem knowing you've got, less than a minute and a half to figure it out? Yeah, that's an intimidating feeling for just about anyone. But here's the thing, and this is the big secret. The SAT isn't just a test of your math skills. It's a logic puzzle, and it's got really predictable patterns. And once you see that structure, once you learn the rules of the game, you can start playing it to win. Today, we're handing you the cheat codes. Okay, so first things first. To crack this code, you gotta know the battlefield. Let's break down the actual structure of the math section itself. So, the digital SAT is adaptive. What does that even mean? Well, it means the test actually changes based on how you're doing. Everyone starts out with a similar mix of questions in what's called Module 1. But how you do there is absolutely critical. If you do well, you unlock the harder Module 2, and that's what gives you a shot at the highest scores. If you struggle, you get routed to an easier second module that actually puts a cap on how high your score can go. So yeah, that first module, it's literally everything. So you might be asking, where should I even start studying? Well, the test gives you a huge clue. It is overwhelmingly about algebra and something the College Board calls advanced math. You know, stuff like functions and quadratics. Together, those two things make up a whopping 70% of the questions you'll see. The other 30% is a mix of geometry, some trig, and data analysis. This isn't just a random list of topics, it's your blueprint for where to focus your time. All right, what about the question format? Most of it, about 75%, is going to look familiar, just your standard multiple choice. But that other 25%, those are what are called student-produced responses, or grid-ins. And for these, there's no safety net, no list of options to pick from. You are totally on your own here. You have to calculate the answer and type in yourself, which means there's absolutely no room for a lucky guess. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the one tool you get for every single math question, the calculator. It's your most powerful asset on test day, but, and this is important, it can also be a really dangerous one. Mastering it is key. Look, it's super tempting to just reach for that powerful built-in Desmos calculator for every single problem. But trust me, that's a trap. It's fantastic for chewing through complex calculations or quickly checking your work. But the test is also designed with a ton of questions where using mental math or just doing some simple algebra is actually way faster. Knowing when to use it versus when to put it away, that's a strategic skill that will save you a ton of time. So here's the big takeaway, and it's so important. The calculator is a tool, not a crutch. The students who get the top scores don't just know how to use it, they know when not to. They can spot that little mental shortcut that's faster than typing in a bunch of numbers. And that is a massive advantage. Okay, now for the fun stuff. The secret weapons. The SAT loves to set traps, but if you know their playbook, you can turn those very tricks into your biggest advantages. These are the kinds of strategies that separate the good scores from the great ones. Okay, this is probably one of the most powerful strategies out there. It's called plugging in. Let me walk you through it. If you see variables like X or Y in both the question and the answer choices, stop. Don't do a bunch of messy algebra. Just make up a simple number for that variable, something easy like 2 or 10. Then solve the problem using your simple number. The result you get is your target answer. All you do next is plug your number into each of the answer choices. Whichever one matches your target, that's the right answer. It's brilliant. You turn scary abstract algebra into simple arithmetic. Now, remember this. For every question, there's only one right answer. That means the other 3 are 100% wrong, and your job is to figure out why. You need to become a detective. Look for the little flaws. Is an answer choice almost perfect but off by just one tiny detail? That's wrong. Does it make a claim that's just too extreme? That's wrong. Does it use the right ideas but flip them backwards? Wrong again. Find the flaw and eliminate it. Oh, and you have to watch out for this classic trap. It gets people all the time. You do all this great work. You solve for X. You feel great, and you see your answer for X sitting there as option B. You click it, you move on, only to realize way too late that the question was actually asking for the value of 2X. Before you even start solving a problem, do yourself a favor, circle or underline exactly what the question wants. It's such a simple habit, and it'll save you from throwing away easy points.
Okay, so you've got the blueprint of the test. You've got an arsenal of strategies. But none of that means anything without this final piece, having a smart way to practice that actually makes you better.
Look, anybody can sit there and just grind through practice test after practice test. But the real secret, the thing that actually boosts your score, it's not the practice, it's the review. The most important work you'll do happens after the test is over, when you dig into every single one of your mistakes and figure out why it happened. This really hits the nail on the head. I've seen it a million times. Students do 20 practice tests and their score barely budges. Why? Because if you don't figure out the root cause of why you made a mistake, you are basically guaranteed to make that same mistake again. Your goal isn't just to answer more questions, it's to systematically eliminate your bad habits. This is the system. This four-step process is how you turn every single mistake you make into future points. First, as you're taking a test, mark any question you're even a little bit unsure about. Then, for every question you got wrong, try to solve it again before you look at the explanation. Really struggle with it for a minute. Finally, figure out why you got it wrong. Was it a simple calculation error? Did you not know the content? Did you fall for a specific trap? Write it down. Keep a log. This is how you find your weak spots and fix them for good.
So there you have it. You've got the knowledge. You've got the strategies. The SAT math section isn't this big, scary, unbeatable monster. It's a test with a predictable code. And now you have the keys to crack it. The only thing left to do is to put them to use and go take control of your score.
Thanks for watching The Explainer. Remember, the goal isn't to become a math genius overnight. It's to become a master of the test itself. So I'll leave you with this question. When you go to practice tonight, what's the one habit, good or bad, that's going to have the biggest impact on your score? Happy prepping!